Guys, World Wrestling Entertainment is thinking about having this WWE Female Superstar win the 2023 Royal Rumble. And why, if this happens, this could possibly be the biggest booking botch for the calendar year of WWE upcoming. Right from the start of the new year, they could collect their biggest botch of the year. We're going to discuss all about it coming up in this video. Also, a major update from a video I just posted yesterday, and then hours later, this WWE Female Superstar confirmed the end of her character. We talk all about it coming up, and first and foremost, above all else, more importantly than anything else, the health update of a wrestling legend, Barry Windham. Now, I know we use that term loosely these days, but Barry Windham, literally a legend in this business. One of the first wrestlers that captivated BC, and I'm talking back in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, old school WCW, the classic battles with Rick the Nature Boy Flair. And of course, all the story and history with the Four Horsemen and so much more. Barry Windham, a legend. Tragically, recently, he was traveling through the Atlanta airport and suffered a massive heart attack. And he was rushed to the ICU, where for the past couple of days, we've been waiting on any word on his health. Well, early this morning, we finally got that word from the sister of Wyndham Rotunda. Of course, that is Bray Wyatt. The sister of Bray Wyatt, Micah Rotunda. Of course, Barry Windham is their uncle. Bo Dallas, Bray Wyatt, Micah Rotunda, the uncle, Uncle Howdy, if you will. Some are making that assumption. But Barry Windham is their uncle. So Bray's sister, Micah Rotunda, gave every one of us, thankfully, because if you're like BC, we've been waiting on this word. She gave us a massive update this morning, and I quote, "Thank you to all who have reached out, prayed, and contributed, and sent well wishes to my Uncle Barry this week. I wanted to give an update. I'm grateful to say he is stabilized and out of the ICU, talking and able to stand. Thanks again, everyone." Heart emoji. There absolutely is power in prayer. So Micah is thanking all of us for sending our strength, well wishes, prayers, support, and love over to Barry and his entire family, their family. So we, on behalf of the Amplified unit, is going to thank Micah Rotunda for giving us that update. And we are so happy to hear that. So glad that he's going to pull through. A lot of these situations with massive heart attacks, a lot of the time, guys, they have the opposite outcome. This is the news that BC's been waiting to hear, and I didn't think it was even going to be that good up front. He is talking, able to stand, coherent. You talked about just a warrior. That's always been Barry Windham. I guess I shouldn't be too shocked that he's already standing and talking and kicking ass from a massive heart attack, but that, I guess I should just know. That's the family of Bray Wyatt, man. That's Barry Windham. So much love and respect over to Micah Rotunda, to Bray, to Wyndham Rotunda, Bo Dallas, Mike Rotunda, IRS, pay your taxes. The entire Blackjack Mulligan family. If you know, you know. All right, so that's what I wanted to talk about from the jump, man. That is awesome news. Now, let's get to a big story that I talked about in yesterday's video. And it was confirmed hours later by this very superstar, Asuka, WWE Female Superstar Asuka. In the past couple of days, has been sending out some really cryptic posts and really twisting the world of professional wrestling. I'm thinking maybe Asuka is no more. Maybe we're going to get the old school murder clown, Kana, just based on what she was posting, right? For instance, and these are quotes. She just came out and said, "The world is full of shit" on one post. And she posted a picture with that caption, "The world is full of shit." And it's a picture of Kana with a big skull right next to her. And she just looks like she's lost in translation, just zoned out. Almost like we saw Alexa Bliss the past couple of weeks in certain segments. So she posts that. Then she posts Goodbye Cruel World with another picture of Kana in her gear. Then she also posts with Mozart playing in the background, Mozart's music. She posts a picture of her putting on in a mirror her Kana makeup, not the Asuka, not the dripping mist green. No, the Kana gear, the murder clown. And that's with Mozart playing, man. Freaky as fuck. Awesome. Cryptic. Demonic. Loved it. And then she puts another post, man. This was just yesterday. But this was late yesterday. Is there anybody in there? Question mark. And it's Kana looking even more lost with that skull next to her. And then early this morning, I'm talking about, you could say late last night, but it was just past 1 a.m. Eastern time. So it's really early this morning. Instead of sleeping, she's up and rocking. She just posts a video package of her biggest victories as Asuka. And it's basically like her career, all her victories as Asuka in one nutshell, right? In just one package. And the caption just says, goodbye. That's it. That's a quote, one word, goodbye. And that was the last post as of this recording by Asuka. If you want to talk cryptic, yeah, that would be it, man. What that's obviously telling, with all the speculation, with all the posts, and all the hints, it's clear that is the confirmation, right? Let me set all of your questions. Let me put that to rest. This is Asuka, and she puts just a video of all her victories, basically Asuka's career in a nutshell, puts it together, and then says goodbye. Mix that with all of the Kana talk, all of the Kana posts. It is clear Alexa Bliss is not the only one getting a character change. We talked about it yesterday, how this looks like where we were going. Hours after we put up that video, boom, goodbye to Asuka is what Asuka puts up there. And now the ball is in 3H's court. You can't fuck this up. You can't have her go out as Asuka and now on screen slowly build to a Kana character. No, it's already been put in play. It's already been the talk of the pro wrestling world for the past couple of days. Now, today, because that got put up so late last night, early this morning, that talk is going to pick up even more. Casuals are going to pick up on this. If she's already saying goodbye to Asuka, why would she show up Monday as Asuka? I hope 3H's doesn't botch this. You got something really cool here, because Kana is obviously a better version of Asuka. If you don't know, I'm here to tell you that. You look at Kana's matchups, Kana has always won way more than she has lost. The Kana character alone stands on its own. Asuka in NXT with the undefeated streak was exceptional. It was carrying on Kana's legacy as Asuka. And then she gets to WWE, and Vince absolutely botched that for his golden child, Charlotte Flair. Charlotte should have never ended that streak. I was willing to give it a chance if it led to something epic for both, and it never did. Till this day, Charlotte Flair doesn't really connect with the majority of the audience. And Asuka, you could easily say, has been in flux ever since that WrestleMania loss, where she also lost her massive undefeated streak. And that was a collapse on Asuka. And unfortunately, if you look at her last 50 matches, guys, this is Asuka, one of the most badass female wrestlers in the world. If you look at Asuka's last 50 matches, she is 22 of 50. I can barely speak spitting out these facts because they're mind-boggling. 22 wins out of her last 50 matches. Now, if you think that's mind-boggling, only 22 wins out of 50, guess how many were singles victories out of those 22 wins? Only 4. Vince McMahon, 3H's, it doesn't matter. They've always, at least on the main roster, they've always just put her in teams. They don't see her as a single star, and that's sad. On the main roster anyway. Even when she was a Raw Women's Champion, she held the hand of Lana just so Lana can get a rub. And then when Charlie Flair came back, they kicked Lana to the curb, and Charlie Flair became a tag team with Asuka just so people would cheer Charlotte Flair. Guys, Asuka has always just been the second wheel. Second fiddle is what she's always played, even when she was a champion, which made her title reign one of the worst in history. Because she never really had a title reign. She always had to hold the hand of somebody else. Only 4 singles victories out of her last 50 matches. 22 of 50 only. So that alone gives her a winning percentage of 44%. Asuka, one of the most badass female wrestlers in the world, only has a 44% winning percentage. 44% of her matches she wins. 22 of 50, only 4 of those singles victories. And you don't think there's a change that needs to happen, not just for Alexa? No, it has to happen for Asuka. And Kana is the way to do this. If you're going to make her a heel, go all out. Make this special. And you got to do it the right way. You can't botch it. 3 H's has to bring back that undefeated streak. Kana should not be losing for the whole 2023 year. And don't give me that shit, BC. She's got to lose sometimes, man. She can't just run through the entire roster. That's bullshit. Major bullshit. We saw how they epically did that in NXT, and it wasn't just 3 H's. A lot of minds came together to make that happen, and they did it beautifully to a point where everything was believable. A lot of those victories for Asuka, a lot of those that were in defeat, those that had lost, actually gained victory in defeat because they propelled themselves in that loss. That's what Asuka did for them. That's how beautifully the story was and or the match. So there's victory and defeat sometimes. And a lot of those Asuka wins in NXT during that undefeated streak, a lot of her opponents looked really good coming out of it. So you can absolutely do that. At least for 1 full year, you better build her up as Kana. But Asuka, she already said goodbye to the character. That's confirmed by her. You can't botch this and have her show up Monday as Asuka and then start a 2-month build into Kana. No. And you say, well, BC, a lot of the casuals, a lot of people don't know who Kana is, so it's kind of silly and weird, isn't it? Not at all. They're going to find out instantly just in the who the hell she is. Mia Yim comes out of nowhere after just having a couple of months with WWE as Retribution. Then she's gone. And they just brought her out of nowhere. Sarah Logan comes back as a Viking out of nowhere. You can't have this diabolical, cryptic character like the murder clown Kana show up and start whooping ass, defeating everybody, blazing a trail in front of her, behind her, to the left, to the right, any which way. She's setting that bitch ablaze. No, they're going to find out quickly if you do this correctly just in the who the hell Kana is. And I promise you, they're never going to forget who Kana is. This is epic. We were all talking about Alexa Bliss's change in character and where that's going. People were sleeping on turning Asuka into something that she should have always been. That Kana type character. So that's going to be huge, guys. We're going to be looking out for that. But hours after we talked about that yesterday, Asuka puts together all of her video, her highlights as Asuka, and she says goodbye. That's her confirmation. I hope 3H's doesn't mess this up. In closing, guys, I want to talk about what WWE is talking about for their female Royal Rumble winner for 2023. And it's looking to be, and I'm just the messenger on this, Ashley Flair. Charlotte Flair. I know. Right now, you're hitting your head against a brick wall. You're throwing things at the computer screen. I got you. You shouldn't be too shocked. I told you guys a while back when everybody thought Bayley was going to win the title from Bianca Belair. And I told you guys, I said, not so fast. I'm starting to hear from my people down in Florida that WWE was thinking about bringing Charlotte to the red brand and actually winning the title from Bianca, which would mean Bayley somehow does not win the title from Bianca. And a lot of people are like, nah, it's Bayley, BC. I'm not. I know your people have been right more times than not, but it's going to be Bayley. Bayley did not win. My people were absolutely correct that Bayley was not going to win that. And they were absolutely correct because then other people started to hear that Charlotte could be the one to take it from Bianca. I was right all along. And now we're hearing that WWE is keeping everything on the table as far as Rousey and Belair. And now they're thinking about having Charlotte just come back at the Rumble and from there win the Rumble, and then they can choose last minute where they want to go. This could end up being the biggest booking botch for WWE right out of the gate of 2023. And that's not shade to Charlotte, Ashley Flair at all. Not at all. But you're talking about somebody who's been there for years. She's easily going to achieve her father's record and beyond, obviously, because that's what Vince McMahon and 3H's wants. They just want Charlotte Flair to be the most dominant women's wrestler of all time. There's just one epic problem. There's no connection with the crowd. Of course, she has her diehard fans, and they're awesome. That's great. But as far as the rest of the wrestling world, we're just disinterested. We don't give a shit when she's out there, and that's a problem. After all these years in that company, after all the titles that she's won, and everybody in the process that has been derailed to put up with the Charlotte agenda, after all of it, there's still no connection with the majority of the crowd. That is a massive problem. And instead of learning from that and correcting their wrongs, 3H's is going to follow suit with what VKM did, and they're just going to double, triple, quadruple, and so on down. They're going to remain stubborn and defiant in their ways, and they're going to bring her right back, win another Rumble, win another championship, and say fuck you to the fans. You either like it or you don't, but you better learn to live with it. The old school Ric Flair sayings. That's basically what they're doing. They're saying fuck you to all of us. We don't care. We're going to have her a 25-time champion. She's going to win all the Royal Rumbles. We don't care. Charlotte's coming back, and she is going to be the one on the poster. She's going to be the one doing the interview. She's going to be the one on talk shows. She's going to beat everybody. I don't care if it's Rousey. I don't care if it's Bianca Belair. And in the process, Bayley comes back not even to win the title from the jump anyway. Alexa's turn in character will be just to, lose to Bianca, I guess, because Bianca's got to keep it unless they're going to go Rousey and Charlie. That's why I say they better do Kana correct. If Kana's not going to get a title, keep her away from the title picture, but she's got to run through motherfuckers. And for some reason, storyline-wise, she just is not getting a title opportunity. You got to make that into a story or something. But she cannot go for the title and then lose, especially to somebody like Charlie Flair. Cannot happen. But as of now, we thought it couldn't get any worse, that she's going to come back to the red brand and take the title from Bianca. So all of this title reign for Bianca is just going to be to give it back to Charlie Flair when there's no connection anyway. But now we're hearing that it could be even worse. They don't even know exactly what title they want to give her, so they're going to give her a Royal Rumble victory and then go about it last minute. Guys, you cannot waste, because it will be a waste, the 2023 Royal Rumble on a Charlotte Flair return and victory. You know BC is correct. You know that is not the call, man. Somebody else. I can think of 12 individuals off the top of my dome piece that should be winning that matchup, Royal Rumble in January, and it is not Charlie Flair. She's not in my top 30 to win that match. Do the math. 30 participants. She's not even in the 30 conversation to win the match for BC. And I know if you think about it, even if you're a tried and true Charlotte Flair fan, you know that's not the way to go, and it's not best for business. Nobody should be dropping their title to Charlie Flair. And then we repeat the vicious cycle, the same process we've been doing for years, as if anything is going to change. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again and expecting different results. At what point is 3H's going to be just as insane as Vincent Kennedy McMahon? My name is BC Amplified. This is the Amplified channel. To my Amplified unit, salute. Till next time, think, be, live, amplify. Top guy, I'm out. BC saying check you.